Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm David Steele, and here's my truck. And if you detect some despondence in my voice, it's because you want me to carry what now? Okay, this is another test of the Renault Premium using the Cummins ISX12 G, the gas-powered or the natural or compressed gas-powered engine, and we've got a very heavy run today. It's something like 83,000 pounds, but let's just maneuver onto the trailer. I'm surprised that that was as easy as it was to get under the trailer there. I thought I'd struggle. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, I don't have advanced coupling on, so when I push T, it might move the trailer, but actually not that bad. All right. So, quick summary of today's trip. We're off to Bilbao, a port I haven't been to, and I like boats. I reckons it's 2.5 hours. Yeah, it may not be. It might take longer than that in terms of game time. And that's because we're not exactly running a powerful engine today. Let's go ahead and hide that. I'm going to get us on the move. Now, we're using a different powertrain to my last ISX12 G drive. Let's just flick to the cabin, I think. There we go. We're using the same engine, the ISX12 G 320, that has 1559 newton meters of torque at 1154 pounds in American units. Some people might say freedom units. Doesn't feel so free today. However, moving swiftly on, it's not a powerful engine, and it does have the benefit of a flat torque curve from 1000 RPM to 1400 RPM. So you're getting peak torque from a pretty broad range of the engine speed, and that's going to be very useful today. Transmission, we're using an Eaton Ultra Shift. I mean, it's a... Let's have a quick look here. It's a French truck, or at least it's French branded. It's owned by the Swedes, but they owned it because they bought an American company. And so we're using an American engine and transmission combination today, I guess an American powertrain. I think. Clear. This is... Oh, no. Is that an Audi? Well, in which case we're clear enough. It might not be an Audi, it might be a Focus. So yeah, it's an American powertrain under the cabin today, and I'm okay with that. It's an automated transmission as well. It's right here after this car. Looks like a Seat Spaniel. I'm just blocking both lanes here. Not great, but yeah, it's an automated box. Now, most premiums have, well, most of the later premiums probably have the Renault automated box, which is the OptiDrive, I believe it's called, and essentially it's a Renault badge engineered copy of the Volvo I-Shift. Now, it probably has some software changes. I don't know, to be sure. I know that the Mac M drive, it has a few tweaks compared to Volvo I-Shift. I couldn't say that about the Renault, I don't know for sure. But it's a very good box. It does have, I would say, near perfect ratios for all manner of different kinds of trip. Now, we're using the Eaton Ultra Shift, the 13-speed today. I would say that this is a good transmission. I mean, I've got lots of miles with this box. Is it as well suited to Europe as any other automated box? I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. That might depend on the final drive used. And I went with the stock 3.55. Here, look at that. It's going down all the way, letting me run at 1000 RPM, and it didn't drop below it, which was nice. Yeah, I got a merged left here. Yeah, this is 83,000 pounds, so it's heavy, but it's actually performing. That was, I wouldn't say that was impressive, but good effort. Now, I am at full power right now. I'm commanding full torque from the engine is perhaps a more accurate way of expressing that. But it's doing okay now. I'm lifting off now. Let's see if it shifts up. No, it hasn't shifted up right now. But it does have quite a big, wide power band. And what we mean there is it's essentially close to peak power at 1400 revs, and then it drops a little bit to the 2100 RPM governor, or peak, it's a governor, I suppose you would say. So it's a workable engine, and the transmission should be good enough. But like I was saying, the final drive of 355, that is going to be too tall for this kind of trip. I mean, it's not the right powertrain for a heavy haul. There's no way about it. It's a little tall, and yes, it'll be doing 1000 or 1100 RPM at about 50. I think it's pretty much 1100 at 50. We might get there and find out, but like right now, minimal acceleration. Now I'm not in top gear, I'm in 12, but it's barely accelerating. Fuel consumption will not be great like this. Let's take a look. What is it actually? Yeah, it's saying instantaneous 5.1, so actually it's not terrible. Don't get me wrong, but it is not. It's not exactly cruising. It's just gradually getting up to 80 kilometers per hour. I set my cruise at 80. So it's not going to be the most, well, okay, I'm actually hesitant to say the most economical in this configuration, because ultimately we might find that this powertrain could be more efficient than something with a bigger, more powerful engine that I get up to speed in. I'm going to try it in top gear, and would you, Adam, and EV it? We're doing 80. Oh, okay, we're going down a hill because it's accelerating. Yeah. I don't think this is really going to be able to hold my cruise at 80 on any gradient, and I think it's proven a point. So I'm going to help it out. I'm going to shift it down. We're going to want to be down a couple more gears, but I'll do it another hint down. There we go. Today's route is going to be a little twisty and likely a little hilly, so it's going to be a bit of a workout for this drivetrain. But I want to minimize shift hinting as much as I can, because I really want the engine definition to cooperate with what I'm doing here. It's so much of a gradient that it's not being able to cruise. I'm going to kill cruise and use the engine brake. There goes its downshift. Not excessive revs there, which is good. I talked about that in my last video with this engine. I'm going to shift hint it down a couple of times. Number one, number two. It's just to help it. Bit of service brake there. Because we are careering around this corner. Recommended, well, no, it's not recommended. The speed limit is 40 kilometers per hour. It was about 25 miles an hour. Feels very slow, very pedestrian. And of course now we're going up a gradient. I've gone right back to full power, and we're not keeping our speed. Well, I did not expect this to be a ball of fire, and that's completely fine. Let's do a cruise control resume. What this does is it cuts out all of the adaptive shifting that the transmission will do. It tries to understand what you as the driver are asking the truck to do. So if you're going up a gradient, this is contradicting what I'm doing here. If you're going up a gradient, it's going to downshift. We can use this one. I rushed that. That was not the smoothest of transition to the middle lane. Okay, back on the power. So it is pulling from 1000 RPM, but it's not performant. I'm going to give it full power here. Let's see if we can help it get up this gradient. See if when it upshifts. Well, that's good. It's rearing itself out to the governor because there's a gradient and we were going up a hill. Let's see when it. Yeah, look at that. I'm glad it didn't shift up, because we'd be immediately grabbing lower gears. The automated box would be, and struggling with it. Not going to help it. Okay. It dropped an appropriate number of gears. Yeah. Given what we're doing, that's done pretty good. And it even let me shift up, or even it shifted itself up. Okay. I may have got this, these shift points about right. Which is good, because let's just say this is not my first rodeo since the last run. I've worked on the shift points quite a bit. Right, so give it another full power merge onto the motorway, and it downshifted, which I'm happy with it. Now I'm using the transmission in what should be balance mode. It's not in performance mode or economy mode, and that makes it fairly keen to downshift or upshift, but not the most keen, and that will be performance mode. Really, with this kind of load, you want to go into the game settings, change the transmission mode. I think it's called put it into performance, and I would show that now, but it would ruin the immersiveness of what we're doing. Of course, having to rate calmly as I said another gradient is probably not helping either. So it's going up this hill, it's actually accelerating. I'm going to hit resume, and it block shifts, it misses out 12. That's something that some of the engines in the stock ATS game do. Another gradient, another toll, and hard on the service brakes. Let the engine brake do its thing. Most of my speed loss there was through my service brakes. The engine brakes are a bit weaker on the gas-powered engines compared to the diesel ones, and yeah, I think it shows. Should have taken the leftmost lane here. I could. Oh, I am in the leftmost lane. Never mind. As you were. So it downshifted to help me accelerate, just for a few kilometers per hour speed. Gonna hit resume. There we go. Once we reach 30 kilometers per hour, and just let it get itself up to speed. I feel like adjusting the shift points a little bit, so it doesn't block shift. Block shift is what I say when it skips gears, but on the other hand, yes, it's going to go from 11 to 13 when it can, which is going to be pretty much exactly at 80 kilometers per hour. I don't think it's a worse problem in the world to have, but it does mean that if you're doing 75, it may well be in 11th gear as opposed to, you know, maybe 12th or possibly even top, which it potentially could. So right now, would we prefer it to be in 12th? I'm going to shift into the 12th, and then again to 13 into top. So we'll cruise at 80 in kilometers per hour in top gear, I think. Every downhill gradient it picks up a bit of speed, it's got that much weight behind it. And every uphill gradient it loses speed because it can't get enough power to keep it going. And it downshifted. I think we need to take the exit. Yes we do. Go. Bit of engine brake. Oh, did I take a wrong turn? I think I did. Oops. I didn't even spot I missed a turn. Oh. More fun the longer we drive, right?
Keep right, and then exit right.
Well, we'll do this like a U-turn. Maybe I didn't miss a turn, maybe this is what you do. I don't know, but...
Exit right.
Just kind of hammer the service brakes on this. The engine brake does contribute to the braking effort, but it's not as good as the diesel engines. Okay, interesting little intersection. More hills to tackle with, and this is what I mean by this is a long truck. This is the kind of thing that the D17 is designed for. I Just my steering, yeah. Again, figured I was going to crash, so put me right back in the driver's seat. So I'm having to use full power a lot, but at the end of the day, it is still able to keep going. It's a very tractable engine. It should be, given the torque curve. But it does not have that much power. Okay, so I'll keep it nailed down. Let's see when it shifts up. There we go. It probably chose the right call there, just to hold on to third gear at the governor as opposed to try and shift up, because it likely figured it didn't have enough go in the next gear up. They probably called it right. Right, back on resume. Is this the kind of engine that you're likely to see in the Renault Premium, or indeed any Renault for that matter? Probably not. It's feasible that the ISX12 would fit in the Renault, but various European manufacturers did work with their own gas-powered engines as opposed to diesel, and I don't recall for sure if Renault did, but I'm pretty sure the Volvo did, and they may be able to trickle their engines into the Renault range, or quite likely as well, Volvo has just said, hey, if you want a gas-powered engine, Renault aren't going to sell them, but you can buy one of our FH trucks. We sell them over in Volvo land. Okay, so I tried to help the engine by downshifting, and I shifted it too high a road speed, and so I lost all my engine braking as the transmission went down a gear. I realized it was not happy in the gear I was in, and then basically had no engine braking until it went back to the original gear, by which point I was going a little bit quicker. So that's one of the downsides of using the automatic downshift when you use the engine brake, and that is that if you misjudge the engine speed that you'll be in the new gear when it downshifts, you may lose a couple of seconds of engine braking, and that may have been very, very useful to have not lost. Right, well, we're pretty much at my destination. What do I think to this engine?
Keep left.
I've actually enjoyed it. And I say actually, this could have been a real slog. This could have been a very uncomfortable ride. We could have been seeing speeds in the 20 kilometers per hour point and no acceleration to get up gradients, but as it happens, it's done okay. I really don't have a complaint on that regard. The shift points definitely feel better than the last drive I did, and that's good because I have worked on them. They didn't need that much refinement, but just enough. I can see another adjustment to just reduce the revs it will let itself use in the higher gears to try and discourage it from block shifting. That's probably not something that would really bother the European game, but it might bother the American drivers, because this engine will be going to the American pack as well. But I think that's relatively minor, and I also know that there's always a different gearbox that has that issue, even if the one you're using doesn't. Okay, I'm missing my mirror and screen to be able to see where the front of my truck is, so we'll use the wheel camera. It's not going to help that much, but it might. Actually, it will help, as I can see where the front of my truck is. Well, I started this video by explaining I wasn't sure how good the 13-speed Eaton Ultra Shift would count, but turns out it worked out great. I think that this was a good choice. Yes, I could have used a shorter final drive, and it would have helped the thing perform, but not massively. Let's see how well we did. 186 kilometers, that's about 115 miles, give or take, something like that. And 83 liters of diesel, not diesel, no, 83 liters of compressed gas. So that's about 5 miles per gallon. With this kind of payload and with this kind of driver at the wheel and with that kind of gearbox, that's a good effort. That's very good. I guess it shows the benefit of a small capacity engine in a fairly lightweight truck. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. The ISX12 G, if not already by the time you're watching or listening to this, will be available in the Steele Productions Engine Pack shortly, and that's not a short person joke. But for now, enjoy. See you the next time. Thanks so much, everyone. Goodbye.